Hi, this is FML Diversify. My name is Fern. Welcome to my channel. I came on today to be a spirit of encouragement to you that you can make it. I don't care what situation you're going through right now. I don't care what it is. It could be eviction. It could be no food in your house. God is the answer. Jesus is the solution. And when you're going through the storms of life and you don't feel like you're going to make it, you got to go in and you got to begin to take and say, you know what? What is going on here? Why am I always down and out? Sometimes we could be down and out because it's what we're looking at. It's what we're going through. It's called storms of life. And they real storms, but yet they not real to God, because God is the author of our life. And for those who have faith and look to the Lord, He is your source. And He is your spirit of encouragement and strength. And some people might say, well, I've been going through this for years. But at the same time, He's been going through it for years, but you haven't identified and you haven't said, Lord, what's going on here? You haven't even brought it to the forefront. And a lot of times we could sit there, we could be doing things, and we sad. But then we're looking at what we're doing and we say, well, I'm sad I'm in this situation. And I just want to encourage you to get up. If you're going through a dark moment and a dark time in your life, I remember I wasn't born again, I wasn't saved then, but I remember I was about 19. And most of my life I've been sad. And it just seemed like things was never going my way. It just seemed like those people and over there and everybody's prospering. I didn't know what prospering was. When you young, you're about 4 or 5 years old, and you see your friends and your cousins and this one and that one going on, and you left there standing there, and they look at you and walk away. I went through that so much in my childhood. I went through so much in times of just people just walking away, never inviting. And I want to go, but yet I don't have the strength. And then you already kind of know at the same time that people, if they wanted you to go with them, they would go, hey, come on, let's go. Boom, right off the top. If that's not you, where you're one who were always invited to the party, don't fear not. Because you know what? You ain't missed nothing. God could have spared you from a whole lot of party goers. If you wasn't the party one, and party over here and party at my house, God probably saved you from a lot of problems and situations. And maybe that's why you might be in that spirit of depression trying to take you over. But the word of God says God has not given us a spirit of fear. And I just want to share with you, if you feel like you're depressed, your head hanging down, ain't nothing, get up and move. Get up and walk out of that situation. Well, Fern, how do I do that? Just get up and start walking. I don't care if it's just walking around your house. Turn off that TV. If that music isn't the music that's building your faith and it's just shaking your thing, turn it off. You got to turn it off. Because it could keep shaking you could keep shaking your thing and it's not getting you nowhere. And what is the end of shaking your thing? Come on. You got to think about it. Because if that's not leading you to a better life and a better situation for yourself, for your kids, for your family, then sometimes you got to just stop and reassess and look at what do I need to be doing to feel better, to look better. I remember, like I said earlier, at the age of 19, I had my first apartment. I got pregnant. My mom found me an apartment. 2 women can't live together. So I moved out. But I moved in with a young man that I had relationships with, and that's a whole nother story that I'll tell my testimony on. But I moved him into the apartment with me, and I set up house because I'm looking at the soap operas, I thought, Erica Kane was something. She's a character, One Life to Live. But she's a character. That's all she was. It wasn't a true story. It was an imaginary script that was being written for people, and people watching imaginary script, and lives are now destroyed because they want to be like Erica Kane. I want this man, that man. He'll love me, he'll buy me, he'll give me. And then homegirl get to the point, she don't want to be bothered. She dump them and get another one. I lived that life. But I didn't live my life as dumping and going from man to man in that aspect. Yes, I did myself. But at the same time of that faith that, you know what? He ain't going to love me. He not going to really live with me. He not going to be there for me. So I'm not going to put my faith and hope in that man because he'll just leave me. He going to be off to somebody else. That's the kind of spirit that you don't want in your life. So I'm here to share with you. You have to look at your life in the spirit of encouragement. If things aren't going right for you, begin to look around you and look and see at the things you were looking at, people thinking they got it going on. This one got a boyfriend, that one got a boyfriend. I grew up young, very, very young, wanting a boyfriend. I can tell you from about 6 or 7 years old, and I believe that I used to watch my cousins, and they would have boyfriends, and I wanted one. I wanted a boyfriend at about 6 or 7 years old. I didn't know. I wanted somebody to like me, hold me, kiss me, cuddle me. Did not know the backstory to that mess. And I would encourage you, parents, grandparents, begin to find the backstory out of the conversations that these kids are having with one another. It will be, because if that young man or that young girl break their heart, they're on a spiral now. Because they will begin, because they got hurt, they will begin to go from person to person to person, thinking that, and then they'll build up a vendetta against the opposite sex as if you did me wrong, I'm going to get you. But what they do is they go into the spirit of the world, and you're going to get everybody you got. I'm going to get you before you get me. And that's the spirit I had. I self-sabotaged myself because I was like, I'm not going to let nobody hurt me. I'm going to hurt them before they hurt me. And that will bring on a spirit of depression because you don't ever think you could be loved. You don't ever think that you're worthy. You never think that you're well enough. You're looking at all of the girls and the high school girls, especially high school girls, looking on, and they're seeing all the girls with boyfriends. But in the backstory of that, you don't know what those other girls are going through, young ladies. Some of them are being beat and abused, even killed. When I was in high school, I heard a couple of different instances, and the boy got mad at the girl, she broke up, and then the boy turned around and killed the girl. I'm telling you what happened. And they in high school. But that spirit of depression looks for sadness. It looks for hurt. It looks for gloominess. And then we're looking at people. We're looking at the TV. We're looking at the social media. And we're thinking that that's the solution, that's going to be my solution. And our kids are thinking if they just put on these clothes, that the clothes are like, they are sexy. That's the mower, I'm sorry. But they are sexy, and this is how you get a man. You don't want these kids linking up together, and that's how you get a man, and they get brokenhearted. Now they sleeping around with everyone. Now they self-sabotaging, committing suicide because of watching other people. The devil want you to watch other people. The devil want you to be disobedient to God. And I'm here to tell you, stop looking at people. Make your eyes turn. I remember the God's servant that he placed me under, and she was telling me that God had told her